I'm in pink. Hey guys, happy Friday. I am so glad it's Friday, April 5th, 2019. Super excited to have my beautiful close friend, Wendy Stewart.
Hi.
On the show from The Property Pros and Wendy in the Cloud and all sorts of fun stuff. So Jennifer Holt's on, Mandy's on. Let us know you can hear us and see us because that's obviously the most important thing. We get a heart already. Lori Rivera's on. Happy Friday, everybody. David Fraser's on. Did I say that right, David? After 40 years, you think I'd know. All right, so Wendy, I realized when we were doing this promo for Ted's Community that I was like, where's Wendy's show? Well, Wendy didn't have a show. She had Mortgage Minute she came on and did with me. Which was the first, I think it was the first day here.
Time,
You brought me the bear that's still on my dresser.
Teddy B.
Teddy B. It's an awesome bear. And then we did the 20 Under 40 show for Aura. And then we did the promo for the crazy cooking show we did. But no numbered show, which is just insane to me. So I'm like, I gotta get you on here. Let's do it on a Friday afternoon. It's not like you haven't seen enough of me this week.
Oh, no.
Welcome. And I'm wearing pink.
I love it. If I could have your shoes.
Oh, the shoes. I'll pan down to those at the end of the show.
You have got to see. So I said, Ted, he's wearing all pink. His shoes are spectacular. They are sparkly and pink, and pink is my favorite color. It's my team color. It's, you know. And I said, are you wearing this in honor of Wendy in the Cloud? And he said, no.
I'm sorry. I can't lie. And then I tried to change it real fast.
Yeah.
So I'll show you guys later. All right. So they don't know about you. So we've never done like the full interview.
No.
We've never gotten the origin story. I know the origin story. I know lots of cool stuff. As a matter of fact, hi Shirley, you just posted something about, well, see, hashtag Wendy in the Cloud from Mandy. And I can't, so Mandy's been on the show before you, on the numbered shows. So tell us a little bit about you. Give us a little background on Wendy.
A little background. Well, I was born on a snowy day in 1970. No.
Woo! Okay, here we go.
I'm old. No. Well, I'm from Queens, New York, and I've been living in Central Florida for 25 plus years. And you know, I grew up in my family's hair salon.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. And you're also bilingual.
That's something people
don't know that about
me.
you.
I am. Spanish was my first language. Yeah, I am.
What's your maiden name?
Well, my maiden name, that's a different show.
Woo! Okay, sorry. See, this is why I do no research. Oh, we love Miss Selby. We were just talking about you.
So, yeah, I'm Hispanic. A lot of people think that I'm, you know, what's the correct term? Caucasian? Right? Is that the term?
Normally when I'm with my Hispanic friends, they call me white.
Okay, so most people think I'm just white, and then it's funny because people will talk about me in Spanish, not realizing that I am Hispanic.
Oh, you're like, if you spoke like the language in a nail salon, can you imagine?
It's like that.
Yeah.
So that's what happens to me. So I am a realtor. I work with the Property Pros. I'm the managing broker. And I have the Stewart team, and just, you know, I'm living the dream. Here I am.
So, but let's talk. I don't want to. You get into what you want to get into.
Okay.
But
you
want
to get into it? I think the people want to get into it.
No, but I love. You just posted something. Anglo. That's it, Joseph Rosado. Anglo. That's good.
Anglo.
Mr. Dr. Sir Rosado is coming on the show during Marijuana Week, which is coming up.
I've never smoked.
I never have either.
Yeah.
I haven't, but I want to talk about it. Justin Clark, what's up? Hope you're feeling better. Gert Garman. All right, so, but you just posted about, it was like I call it a magical memory, but it was a memory of you and the kids. You've got the key, which is my least favorite picture of all time, except for that. Don't market that all the time, Realtors.
I know,
it's a much. But this was a big deal for you. So you have a story, you share what you want to share, but I think it's so inspirational where you were and where you're at now and how you got there.
Yeah, so 3 years ago yesterday, the kids and I celebrated our 3 years of home ownership. And those of you that know my story, I'll do it real quick, but you know, I found myself very divorced 15 years ago, and in a very bad situation. I ended up packing my children, staying in the car for a little while until I figured things out with my 2 and my 3-year-old. Pretty much destitute, with nothing. I remember all we really ate in those first years was peanut butter and jelly and mac and cheese, and the kids, they can't see that now at all.
So even though they were young, it's still something they don't like to think. It brings them back to a bad place, or not a great place.
Well, and it was years. I mean, it took me probably a good, I'd say 8-9 years of that, just coming out of debt and getting through.
What did you do before real estate?
I've worked, what didn't I do? I mean, I've been a dog walker. I've worked at a school. I managed a tanning salon. Believe it or not, I was a personal trainer for a little bit.
I don't know how we're in the same space.
I don't even know. I cleaned houses. I just a lot of different jobs to just survive and get by.
What did you want to do? So you hit, that was a really rough place. So you're thinking,
Yes.
You're trying to plan, you're trying to figure it out.
Yep.
What was your goal? What did you want to be? Did you have real estate in the back of your mind? Or was it just, all right, I have to figure out one day at a time. I've got to figure out how to get through this.
I got to figure out how to get through this and how to get these kids ahead. Because in my situation, I am legit a single parent. My children are children of abandonment. The true definition of that is that the parent is gone. There is no support physically, financially, emotionally. So it was just me and the kiddos. Luckily, I have an amazing family, and I've had amazing support and friends. And, that helped me watch the kids while I juggled all these jobs and did all this stuff to get by. But,
Mandy, you're awesome, Wendy friggin' Stewart.
She's funny. I love her. But yeah, it was rough, and people always did say to me, you should do real estate and things like that. But I came also from a background of abuse, and I was always told that I just wasn't smart enough to go to school. I never went past high school. I never did anything past high school, so I just didn't think. I just thought it was too hard, something I couldn't do.
Well, when you're told that, people don't realize, when you're told that all the time,
you believe it.
You begin to believe it. That's why, please watch what you say to your kids.
Yes.
Oh, it's so powerful.
You truly believe it, and looking back, I passed that course like this. I passed the state exam first try, my broker exam on the first try.
Nice.
So it was, but you do believe it, and real estate was something I just honestly thought I'll do very part-time to supplement some income, save for the kids' college. Never fully, I still, it's still all very surreal to me. You know that, Ted?
I know.
It's all still is this happening?
Well, that's because you come from a very grateful, gratitude-oriented heart, right? And you put it out there, the things that you're thankful for, I'm put it out there. You're 100% transparent. Both of us are, probably to a fault sometimes.
Yes.
But I think it's so interesting that, so you get into the career, and then you don't know if you're going to like it or not. It might sound good, right? That's how most people do.
Nobody
and then you're
tells you the little stuff that you need to know, that you should know, all these dues and what's it going to cost and the amount of hours you're going to put in. And listen, the first 2 years of real estate, I had my other 2 jobs, and I was trying to juggle it all just to pay off that debt, to get that house, to do all that stuff. I got so sick. I got shingles.
Oh, yeah.
I got from stress, and I, lost 30 pounds just all the stress of doing it all, and that's
so you get into the, did you start just kind of easing your way in? Did you have a brokerage at the time that, part-time, a lot of people get into it part-time, which I want to ask you that in a minute, but I want to hear your story. You get into it part-time, you're trying to figure it out, you're maneuvering your way through. I teach for the climber school, so I understand the whole thought process there. And Andy's fantastic about teaching you the real stuff.
Right.
You have post-45 class, all that good stuff. But a lot of times you get into a business and you don't really know. Nobody's telling you.
Right.
So do you get in, and do you have a brokerage at the time that helps you, that guides you, or did you have to figure it out, right?
No. I YouTubed my very first contract. I didn't know how to do it, and I didn't want to part with my money to have someone mentor me to do it. And, it was a $59,000 trailer in St. Cloud that I was trying to write an offer for, and I figured it out. I just knew once it clicked, and I I ran with real estate. I knew this is going to be what's going to get me out of this mess.
Right.
This is going to be life-changing. This is going to take me and the kids to the next level. This is going to be where I can buy steak. You know,
Correct.
That's how I saw it. And it was little things like that. I knew, like, wow, I don't just have to buy poultry anymore. It was just things like that. You know, now it's weird to me. I don't even know what milk costs, you know, but I do.
That's a whole nother show. We've done the shopping show, as you guys know.
But, you know, yeah, so no, I went in blind, no help, no nothing. I just, once I got going, and
so you cut your teeth, and then how do you make it to? What did you do? You didn't have any training in it,
no.
So did you use your centers of influence? And I love to have this conversation because it's universal. So it doesn't matter what business you're in, whether it's real estate or something else. Once you have an idea, hey Viviana, once you have an idea, it sounds real good, and then you got to figure out, okay, how's that going to make me money? Do I have the right resources? And people are such an important resource, your database.
Yes.
So how did you approach that? We didn't buy leads back in that day. I mean,
no.
So it's a different world. So you had to build it.
I work leads. My team does. I'm all referral based, but so a few things helped me. When I did find the right brokerage with Anthony Billiteri and the Property Pros.
We love Anthony.
We do. He said to me, "There's this thing called Facebook." And I said, you know, because I worked for, at the time, a school, and it was very private. We weren't allowed to, you know,
I get it.
Yeah, you weren't allowed to be out there the way I am now. And he said, you know, you've got to use it. You've got the personality to use it. The thing that I did differently, and I still do with my Facebook, I treat my Facebook as a blog, if you notice. My posts are,
yes,
they're very real, they're very raw, they're very exactly what I'm feeling at the moment. So, and I've done that the entire time I've had Facebook. I've been very raw and honest with it.
Is that hard for you to do? Is it hard for your kids to read?
It's hard for my kids to read. For me, it's very cathartic.
People, listen, Facebook, right? So my kids call Facebook the social media for old people. It's for old people.
Well, yeah.
Because they all do Snapchat and Instagram.
Yeah.
But I love Facebook for that exact reason. I love the blog feel to it. And then you can say whatever you want. And listen, if you don't like it, you don't have to like it. But it's good for me and it's good for you, obviously.
Yeah.
So you get with, how did you guys decide how did you decide that you were going to work with Anthony?
So I had this thing back in that time when the market was, you know, going crazy. I'd show up everywhere. I went with donuts. I still do, depending, you know, on how much I need the listing or whatever the situation may be. So he was putting a lockbox on a listing that I was showing, and I had shown up with the donuts. I knew the client wanted that house. I showed up with 3 contracts with 3 different offers. While he was putting the lockbox on, we looked at the home, and I said, "Can you know, do you mind sitting with me at the dinner table so that I could present this offer?" And he said, "No time like the present." Never forgot that. And that is like the number one thing I teach everyone. No time like the present. And he sat with me. I presented the offer. The next day he called me and he said, I have no idea who you are showing up with these Krispy Kreme hot donuts and 3 offers, but I think you're something special. I need to have you on my team. And here we are.
So talk about, Rusty, we love you. Rusty said my faves. Talk about the team thing, because you all really do. We talk about environment a lot on the show. So if you're in, whatever you're in, your charity, your business, you want to have this environment where you feel like you can grow, where it's safe, where people are supportive. And the one thing that I learned from you all is that is so important to, there's Raleigh, that's so important to your culture.
Yes.
But how do you talk about the culture itself, and then how do you keep it intact in a world where it wants to attack that all the time?
And it's very, very difficult. But I think we have amazing people. And here's the thing. We have 49 agents right now. I could tell you every single agent's dreams, goals, aspirations, what they had for dinner last night, where they want a vacation, their children's names, their dogs' names. I know everything about those people because I care about those people just the same way Anthony does. And it hurts us. You know, if someone leaves, it hurts us. It's a tough pill to swallow because we care. We become family. It's, we don't just say that. We eat together. We vacation together, as you know. We do everything together. And even though we don't see all the agents all the time, we're the kind of brokerage, if I'm not calling them, one of the branch managers is, or Anthony's calling them, we're constantly in the loop with them. Where have you been? We want to see your face. You're not just a number to us. We want to break bread with you and be family. Well,
and Louis says, Wendy, it's been a while.
Hi, Louis.
Hey, Louis. Hey, Raul. So I think the interesting thing too is that because you're not part of a big chain,
right?
This is the brokerage. You're it, right? There's no other offices of anything.
Nope.
And so you get a lot of creativity, but with that comes that personal thing. When somebody used to leave my team, unless I was escorting them out, may have happened allegedly a lot. Allegedly a lot. I was hurt by it, not in a way where I was devastated, but in a way where I'm like, oh my God, what could I have done differently? Because you really do care, right? You
really
set
do.
up it's not a fake thing that you do.
Nope.
And so when you care about a human being and they leave, and you wonder why they're leaving, and sometimes you don't get the answer. Which I've dealt with
sometimes
before.
People grow wings, and
they do,
and we love that too. We're not here to stop anyone, and everyone's gonna grow. And
speaking of Danny Hernandez,
there he is.
We were talking about you earlier, Danny.
We were.
But I think it's interesting in this market to have any kind of business where it's family driven.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a friend who has a printing business, and they're family oriented, and there's I don't know, maybe 25 of them that work there. And he was telling me they take it so personal when someone leaves, because they really do feel, it's not even a try thing.
Nope.
You feel you're embraced. You feel like it's family. That's how Freedom is for me. That's how they treat me, Freedom Mortgage. And it's the first time.
I'd be devastated if they left me too.
Listen,
That's my crew.
It's so wonderful when you actually get to that you want to bring it to other people, and you want to feel like you can help other people with it because of all of the blessings you get from being in it.
And I feel
it's macaroon.
It's macaroon. I do feel that with all these blessings, I feel a sense of I feel I've been blessed to be a blessing. So
Correct.
I want to share, and I'll share with anybody, agents that are in my brokerage, not in my brokerage. I will sit with anyone and have coffee and tell you my journey and tell you exactly what I'm doing. I have nothing to hide. What works for me might not work for you, and I could probably learn something from you too. So I'm very open about
and
that.
I love that. So Wendy won't say it because she's nice. Then I want to talk about Wendy in the Cloud in a minute. I think it's suspect if a person who's allegedly a leader or a successful person in the community doesn't give other people the time of day or want to encourage them. I don't care what brokerage you're at, what business you're at. And so when I hear that out in the community, and unfortunately I do, it's not just in real estate, it's all businesses.
It's everywhere, yeah.
When I hear somebody wanting so badly to be mentored or at least have some sort of direction, and they take the time to reach out to you, you're a different little human being if you turn that down.
I agree.
And I feel like that is a testimony to your character.
I agree.
And I'm not a big fan of that. So when people ask me for help, I get a lot of loan officers that ask me for help. Listen, I'm not in recruitment mode. I mean, I'll hire you if you're fantastic. But my goal is to help. The whole thing's about community. It's why Ted's Community is involved.
And not
Ted
being
show.
a hoarder of knowledge.
I don't want it. Why would you hoard that? You're supposed to gift it.
That's right.
Gift it. Guess what? The more you hoard it, the less you get. I'm just telling you. All right. So let's talk about where you came from, where Wendy in the Cloud came from.
Oh, that's a great story.
I mean, so talk about Wendy in the Cloud, because when you were talking about the show, obviously because of technology, I thought, why is Wendy doing a show in the cloud? Right?
You had no clue.
I forgot that St. Cloud
Hey.
is where you're at. So
Yes.
talk about how that came to fruition.
Okay.
What was your idea? What was the basis?
So last April, for me, it was my first month ever in my real estate career where I had not written a contract or had a closing ever, right? So of course I'm like, I'm done.
You're finished.
It was fun, thank you God. I built a house, I paid off my debt, I saved money. That was great, so great. Thank you Jesus, I'm moving on, right? So I was like, what am I gonna do? Like, I've had nothing, this is it, I'm done, you know. So I said I have to do something, tying it back to my roots and I wanted to show my personality, but I didn't want to talk about real estate. I personally just felt like there was enough of that. And I said, you know what? I think I'm going to do something, because I grew up in a hair salon and a family business.
You grew up in St. Cloud?
I grew up in New York. I moved here when I was 13. But my mom had her hair salon. She's had it in St. Cloud for 30 years now. So I said, I'm going to do something where I visit local businesses. They have to be mom and pop. It couldn't be a chain. And I'm just going to walk in and highlight the business for like 5 minutes or less. Let's see what happens. So
before you go, Danny's giving us a hard time. Yes, Ted's community is going to be big, and he goes, St. Cloud have a zip code?
It has 3, honey. I think 4 with our P.O. box.
Nick came on and said, you know, he sent hearts.
Oh,
I love Nick.
Nicky Poo. So April 19th, I was sitting in a coffee shop with Jenny Estevez, and I said, I think I've got this idea I want to do. I want to visit local businesses. I think I'm going to call it, here's the funny part, right? I said, I think I'm going to call this Wendy Walks the Cloud. And she goes, oh, are you like a streetwalker?
Listen, we love you too, Nick. You never know, right? But that's good. She gave you her immediate reaction.
Immediate. And that never crossed my mind. So I'm like, ooh, okay, so.
No, I'm not a streetwalker, but thank you.
Yeah, no, Wendy's not going to walk the cloud. So I don't know how it could, but we were like, all right, Wendy in the cloud. Right? And
the
cloud.
Hey Sherry, Wendy in the Cloud is such a great name.
It's what everyone calls me now, and it's funny because most people, Ted, don't realize that I'm referring to St. Cloud. They think it means the cloud, like.
That's what I thought.
Right, because everyone sees me on Facebook and, you know, all this stuff, so they're like, oh, we thought it was like Wendy in the Cloud.
But how awesome to make it, and I want to talk about some of your guests, how awesome to make it so local centric, where you're highlighting people every day. How often you do it?
So,
but I love it because you're highlighting people that don't get that. They don't have that opportunity, and they're doing great things in the community. Yeah. And so I love what you create.
And who knew that it was gonna, like, you know, become this thing and take off? But it has. And yesterday, for example, I was filming a few of them. And one day I visited Jimmy Bear's Barbecue, who we'll be highlighting soon. And
starving.
Oh my God! One of the waitresses, Dina, came up to me and she hugged me. Never met me in my life, and she said, "You're Wendy in the Cloud." She said, "You don't know how much you inspire me." She said, "You make me think all things are possible."
Oh God, I would cry right there.
Of course, we both did. So it was just like one of those things. I'm like, oh my God. And that's kind of the response I've gotten. It's been really nice, you know, and we're coming up on a year.
But you're doing, so let's talk about it because I want people to understand.
Yeah.
Is somebody paying you to do it?
No.
Is somebody volunteering to do your camera work?
No.
You're paying somebody to do your camera work.
Yeah.
I want you guys to hear this stuff. So when somebody like Wendy goes out, she didn't know I would say this.
No.
When somebody like Wendy goes out and they're highlighting these people, me too. Listen, nobody's paying me to sit here and do this. You do it as a passion project,
I have a
right?
marketing crew.
You have, you do. You're much better than me. You know, it's me, you, and the camera stand on the. But when you go out and you do this, you're doing it. I mean, there is nobody behind you cutting a check. It's your time. It's your money.
I don't even ask to leave my cards. There's nothing. I want nothing for all the time people try.
So why do you do it?
I do it. Number one, I'm gonna be. You know, like I said, I wanted to show me, and I wanted to highlight the community that I live, work, and play in. Bottom line, that was it. Honestly.
Because what she's doing, in my opinion, she's planting these amazing seeds, right? So people underestimate the value of planting a seed. She's not asking them for anything. She's taking all of the resources to them.
Yep.
And so she's planting these seeds. Will all of them come to fruition? Y'all have to get off that because if you do the right thing all the time, it's not going to be XYZ person. It could be ABC person. Something's going to come back to you tenfold, 100-fold. I know you talk about it all the time.
It's crazy.
But I think people are like, well, if I go out to this restaurant, God, I hope I get free this and free that and blah, blah, blah. If you're going into it with that mindset, you need to just figure out something else to do. Yeah. I'm amazed at people. But what you're doing, I love, because that's what we try to do with Ted's Community and the TED Show. We want to focus on that, and I'm a believer like you are. It's going to come back so many times over, and it still does. You have to I believe you have to live your life like that. Absolutely. If you do things and you expect a return, I'm talking about soulful spiritual return here, people. If you do something and you expect a return, you're doing it for the wrong reasons, and you're going to be disappointed. You're going to not have a good experience. Yeah. But you do it, it fills your soul. You said it's cathartic, it's good for you.
It's good. I get to meet the people in my community that I probably never would have met. I get to see businesses that I didn't even know existed, in St. Cloud. And just, we have ventured out a little bit because other people have reached out outside of St. Cloud and asked me to go, and I've been doing that too. I'm slowly, but obviously my focus is in St. Cloud. My heart is there. But I get to meet like amazing people like Dina yesterday, and they try to feed you, and everyone's so, it's an amazing thing.
It's really just, I think people underestimate, I talk to people a lot about doing, because basically right at this moment, this is charitable work that she's doing, right? There's no, right? Think about it. Yes, is it good for business and everything? I spent the whole day
filming yesterday. No real estate work was done yesterday.
And so when we do shows, when we both do shows or we go out, like we went out and I loved it because the pizza was to die for, Renata. Oh my God! So out at the Brazilian
Not
pizza,
a celebration. That's
retro station. So that's an example. You go out there and you're so filled. But is it good for her? Yes, it's great for her. Do I go in there thinking I'm going to get... why I wanted her to have pizza? Because I wanted to taste it and I wanted people to see it.
Yes.
It wasn't because I needed a feeding and that was her payment to me. Right. And I think a lot of people just go into it. Well, what is it? What am I getting out of it?
Yes, if you go out of that, if you have that mindset, just don't even bother. You have to have a passion for people. You have to... For me, again, small businesses are the pulse of our community.
Amen.
Bottom line, again, I come from a family of, my mom had 4 hair salons in New York, 1 here. My first bath was in where they wash your hair. So my playpen was in the back, and that's where my heart is. And
look at this stuff. So, for example, the reason Wendy and I met is because we were at a NAREP event.
Yeah.
You can't make this up. No, so we're at a NAREP event.
You're going to tell the story?
No, it's a great story. So I'm going to call him out because it's so much fun. Okay. John Marone was the speaker, right? He's really good. He's a national speaker. He's fantastic. Yeah. So we're at this event, and they're taking pictures over here, and then I hear this beautiful voice that says, "Oh my God, you're Ted from the TED Show." My kids are going to literally kill me for saying it. And you said, "Let's get a picture." So you can't make this up. So Wendy and I get a picture. First time, right? We get a picture. And John and his crew are looking over because there's nobody in line. I love you, John. I do. Nobody's in line. And we're taking pictures. That is the power of what we do. We're impacting people. We're motivating people. People are being inspired. And that's not an ego thing that I'm saying. It's a reality is what happens. Because we're all dying for it. We all are hungry and thirsty to be inspired and motivated. We don't want the crap anymore. So it was such a lovely, wonderful moment. And I love to tell that story because it was about as organic.
I totally.
You bypassed.
Waiting for me to take a picture.
He really was.
I love
John, we love you, but that was a great moment. But that's the power, and that was early on in the show. That's over a year ago.
Yes.
The power of what you're doing, if you're doing it for the right reasons, the people that you can impact.
People can see your BS.
That's why I love live.
Because I have seen, people do similar stuff or, just other stuff out there, and it's just just be yourself or don't do it at all.
The copying stuff. Kathy!
Hey, Kathy!
Kathy dropped some good words yesterday. It was good, Kathy. No, that was phenomenal. What a great, and it's funny, I'll tell the story, Kathy, just so you know. Wendy goes, so how did it go with Kathy? But she said it out of nowhere, and I go, Kathy who? I don't know.
He legit said that. I said, how did it go with Kathy? Because I was so excited for you to be on his show.
She was absolutely amazing. I wish you could have stayed all day because it was great.
Oh, I bet.
All right, so what's on the horizon for you? What do you want to do? What's the plan?
Well, I want to have another child. No, I'm just kidding. There you go. There it is. No.
Woo!
No, my children are grown. My son's an adult. So, on the horizon for me, more Wendy in the Cloud. Hopefully people are still, wanting me to visit their businesses. I hope that continues for a long time to come. And more real estate. This year I want to say I pulled back, but I guess I didn't. It's busier than ever, but I was trying to spend more time with my children. My son's he's graduating this year. My daughter graduates next year. So this year, hashtag living my best life.
Living my best life.
I am legit living my best life. I'm going back to our words that we came up with at the beginning of the year. I am being joyful again, and I'm just living the best life. That's all I can say. I'm just having a great time and paying it forward.
Paying it forward, people. Yeah. If you are not doing that, you are missing
tomorrow,
out on so much.
I'm waking up at 7 a.m. to pay it forward at our charity, and one that the Stewart team and I like to volunteer our time at. Going back to Brazil in July for more mission work.
Wow.
And tomorrow night we have our thing.
That's right.
So it's all about giving back. Once you realize that, and again, if you're blessed, it's so that you can be a blessing to others. That's the bottom line, in my opinion.
Absolutely. And listen, guys, if you're not giving back, I try to say this on every show, you don't have to cut a check. Your
absolutely.
Time, your resources.
Ted, there were years it would pass by me in church, but I would still give my time.
Amen. It's so important. These charities are money, absolutely, I get it.
Yeah.
But the manpower, woman power behind it.
Yep.
Oh, you can't even imagine how thankful they are when you say show up for a shift or do something amazing. You get what you give. That's right, Kathy.
Absolutely. That's tattooed on my foot.
Give. Nice.
Yeah, you get that exact foot.
All right, so we're going to share, of course, all of Wendy's contact information. The Wendy in the Cloud link I already put in there, but we'll put it again. You want to reach out to her if you're in St. Cloud or anywhere. I think
love you, Jane.
We love Jane. We're going to head toward, I know you're going to head eventually toward Orlando is where you're moving.
Wherever anyone wants me to go.
But I just love your concept. Any parting words of wisdom for them? Anything you want to share before we head out?
No, I think I've said enough already. Just, be your best self, be kind, and be happy, be joyful, and do things with, without wanting anything in return. And life will treat you right. Inspiration,
Paul says, hashtag. It's not the hashtag allegedly.
Great.
Paul, you were amazing. If you missed Paul's credit classes we had Monday,
good.
Tuesday, Wednesday, wow, they were phenomenal, and hopefully we'll bring him back. Yeah, I think if you want, thanks, Louie.
Thank you, Louie.
Sweet.
I love him.
If you want to talk to somebody who's been in the depths of the awfulness,
you could not have been as
so
low as
I want to put that out there, because when she says she's open, she does have an open heart.
People.
So
I'm telling you, I've been through pretty much,
reach out to her.
Reach out to me. I love coffee.
Me
Let's
too,
have
as long as it's a Maggie coffee. Thank you, Carlos. But you're a joy. I love you so much. You're just so amazing.
Tyler.
We love Tyler. You guys have a phenomenal weekend.
Happy Friday.
I will be back Monday with Manic Monday and all sorts of fun stuff. Please vote in the tedscommunity.com.
Yes,
we've only got 8 left. And then the winners will be announced this round. Round 6 ends tomorrow at 9 a.m. And then the final announcement is Monday night. Maggie Coffee, Kathy's had some.
I love that.
So please vote. We just want to promote all you guys. We love you. We want to see you succeed. And we want to use our resources and our centers of influence to get you business and get you maybe help with your charities and whatever your passion is. All right. Love you guys. Mwah. Have a great weekend.